new drinks are now at McDonald's. With refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba. To crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice cold drinks could be so fire? Try them all now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine. Copyright 2026, The Coca-Cola Company. Sprite is a registered trademark of The Coca-Cola Company.
Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race Recap Show for All-Star Season 11, Episode 4, titled It Takes Two. My name's Joe Batanz, and I am joined, as always, by one diabolical co-host from the podcast. Pod is my co-pilot. Please say hello, hello, hello to Taylor, the Latte Boy. Hello, Taylor.
Hello, you. How are you doing?
Good. You are, I was trying to think when I was doing the intro, like, what is, like, I guess dynamic duo or something like that, because there's about duos and the different personality. That's kind of me and you, even though you and I are wearing almost the same color shirt. Mine's more olive.
Yeah, mine's gray. Mine's an old.
Oh, it's gray. It came off as like greenish to me.
No, I think it's just the lighting in here. Well, because I have a big palm tree directly in front of me, so I think it's the reflection of the light off of that is sort of giving me a green glow.
What? Show me. Are you able to turn your camera? Mm-hmm. Let me see what you're looking at. Okay. Yeah.
Ignore all the. But it's just.
Okay. Oh, that's not what I imagined at all. I just imagined wall.
Knocking over pill bottles and stuff.
I still have to. It's just hanging. I love wall art, but hanging wall art is one of the most hated things I do, especially when there's stuff in front of it. So you'll see right here, I only have one thing in front of me. That's it. But there's still room for other wall art. I just haven't hung it yet.
This over here is going to be, it's funny we're talking about this because my husband and I may have had an argument last night over this, but this over here is going to be changed hopefully later today.
The Haunted Mansion one.
Instead of the Haunted Mansion poster, I'm going to be having my medals from all of my races and stuff hanging over here a little bit. Yeah. Because
I love how you and I just talked about Disney for 20 minutes, maybe more, on Just Between Us Girls. You can get over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. And now I'm going to continue it because I was just organizing my posters.
Oh, he disappeared, folks.
Yeah, because you're telling me. I was organizing them, and I don't know why I bought them. I bought this the other day. It's a Haunted Mansion one as well.
Oh, I love that style of artwork. He does things for the Polynesian.
That's Dave, similar. I used to have his He-Man stuff, but I sold them. So yeah, his name's Dave Perello, I think. Mm-hmm. And there's that one, and then
he's done Star Wars stuff too.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that one.
There's Disneyland Hotel. I like this one too. He was there and he signed it. And then did I ever show you this? Yep, there it is. Hold on. So for my birthday one year, my brother bought. Before, they didn't have a lot of money for Disneyland. So before Disneyland opened, they sold these little like records that sort of were like the story of what was going to happen at Disneyland. There's 4 of them for each land.
Okay.
One for each land. But then it also came with this concept. I don't know if we call it a poster, but a concept fold out. So this is from the 50s. Before Disneyland opened.
Oh, that's so cool. You need to get that framed.
I don't know how to get it framed. I do. Yeah, it's very nice. Also, so what's funny, I don't know why I'm whispering, but my brother, his father-in-law was friends with the Imagineer Bob Gurr, who's still alive. Mm-hmm. And he got Bob Gurr to give him or buy, I don't know if he bought it off him or what, an original map of the original Disneyland that Bob Gurr signed.
Oh, shit.
I gave it to my brother for a Christmas or something one year. And my brother was like, I don't want it. Do you want, not that I could have it, but do you want to hang it in your office or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, sure. He's like, yeah, just come pick it up whenever. With the understanding that it was still his, but he wasn't going to put it up. I was like, sure, that sounds great. And then, like, I'm not even joking. Maybe 2 weeks later is when his father-in-law just suddenly passed away.
Oh.
And now I don't want to be like, about that Disneyland poster.
You know what I think might be the best way to honor your father-in-law?
Yeah. I've been thinking, I really miss him, and I want something to remember him by. Actually, it came up recently. My brother was like, yeah, come get it. But I'm like, I still feel weird about it. All right. On that note, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we're actually going to dive right into the episode. We'll be back right after this.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't clone you, but it can streamline your hiring workflow. From posting jobs to shortlisting candidates to interviewing, LinkedIn Hiring Pro is the hiring partner you need, so you can focus on connecting with the right talent. In fact, small businesses report saving over 6 hours per week. So hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
So good, so good, so good.
Everything you want for summer is at Nordstrom Rack stores now, and up to 60% off. Stock up and save on the brands you love like Vince, Sam Edelman, Frame, and Free People. Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
You said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
And we are back. This week, the 6 new queens from Bracket 2 strut onto the main stage, ready to battle each other for a coveted spot in the semifinals. For this week's Maxi Challenge, the girls pair up and sing duets. On the runway, the category, now, this was not the official name, but for people who are just listening, it was butter.
Yeah.
Which I just realized right now, all the words I used to say, I'm not going to use the whole long title, are less in the title. But anyway, for this week, well, you know what? The other thing, too, I don't think it would have been very clear what the theme was, but it was butter.
Yeah.
For this week's Maxi Challenge, the girls pair up and sing duets. On the run, I already said that. On the main stage, Crystal Methyd and Aura Mayari are named the top 2 All-Stars of the week, forcing them to face off in a lip-sync battle for the extra point. In the end, Crystal won the lip-sync, the extra point, and an advantage in the competition. Taylor, name 2 things you liked about the episode and 1 thing you did not.
So 2 things that I liked about the episode was I was generally pleased with this episode and think that this could really be a good bracket. Let me start off by saying that.
All right.
The idea of the concept of butter being a theme, category is butter, was very like, okay, are we running out of ideas sort of thing? That being said, Crystal's butter outfit, I was fascinated with that. There was something about that it was stunning. It was absolutely it was just absolutely beautiful. And anytime they showed her, I'm sure we'll talk about that more during the looks. So in that regard, that was something that I really liked. The other thing is the gasp I let out when the lip sync song started. And I was so genuinely happy for you for some reason. I don't know why, but it's something that we have talked about for years that they need to, and we figured, you and I both figured they will never get the rights for that song.
Yeah, that must cost a pretty penny.
So the fact that they got the rights for this, I was super, super excited for. The thing that I did not like, I really want to like this Silky Nutmeg Ganache. I really want to give her a chance. And you can tell that she's trying to refine her character within Drag Race. I think she even said in the beginning of when they did the introductions, I was too much before, then I wasn't enough the last time I was on All Stars. So this time I'm trying to find that. But the old Silky kind of pops through every once in a while, and it makes it a little like, oh, like it sort of, it deflates the show a little bit. Yeah. I want to like her. I want to root for all of these girls, but there's just something about her that she gets on my nerves. She gets on my nerves. What about you?
So this is going to be an interesting recap episode, I think, because I think these are interesting ones. I think when there's just too much of an opposition, it may not be as fun because you're like, I think this and I think that. But I think you and I agree and disagree by shades, and I think that's going to make for interesting conversation. I also like the concept overall. I loved Crystal's outfit. I also liked a couple of the others, and we'll talk about that more when, actually, for the most part, reminds me of the last runway. For the most part, I liked them. There were a couple that I was like, right. The other thing, too, I also like the concept of the duet. I had trouble understanding, I think the girls did too, about how they were to relate to each other. And maybe that changed by the song, but I wish there was more of a through line like maybe they've done it before and they didn't want to do that, but maybe they were supposed to. I was thinking like frenemies or something like that, or like, because when they were using the example, it's people who are usually pitted against each other.
Sometimes that I think is what confused them, because she said the Brandy to your Monica, which obviously that's The Boy Is Mine, which that's a rival song. But then you also have like Beyonce to Lady Gaga. That's not where they're fighting. If anything, they're just two girls that are on the phone with their boyfriends trying to get them to leave. And then there was a third one that I thought like, oh, this is about like friendship. So the fact that the middle girls sort of, it was that rivalry, I think didn't match up with what the other two were doing, and that was that was a challenge for me there. I'm sorry, No,
you're right. And then my negative takeaway. Now this is where the shades agree. I'm not disagreeing with you that Silky was annoying, right? But I thought Selena and Aura were so much more cringy, so much more annoying, that it made Silky seem almost entertaining in comparison.
I figured Selena was going to come up at some point. I don't see that with Aura as much, but Selena, only because of her previous season. So that sort of is where I'm challenged by Selena in some ways, as far as her persona on her season versus her persona now.
I'll just say Yolanda shot the wrong Selena.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, anyone disagree? All right. On the main stage, the 6 queens of bracket 2 stomped onto the runway. We can go one by one for each of those. First one out was Crystal Methyd from season 12. What were your thoughts here when she came out?
Crystal makes sense as an all-star to me.
Oh, yeah,
I think
100%.
That she was somebody who was a lot of the outfits that they showed in her package, or sizzle reel, is that what you call that? Like a sizzle reel sort of thing? Were memorable. There was like, it didn't make, it wasn't anything where you're like, well, why is she here? I don't get that. The look, I wasn't necessarily a big fan of the look, but it's also, I'm not always a big fan of Crystal's looks, but you remember them, you know, and there was definitely a polish to it. There was, so in that regard, it makes sense that she was there, and I'm glad to see her back.
Yes. I liked her, you know, well, you know what's so fun? We've mentioned this before. We mentioned this on Meet the Queens and yada, yada, yada. But it's like Crystal must have looked around the workroom and the main stage when they were out there and been like, oh, I'm going to the top 2, right? Like, it's like and I think this is why it plays into her strategy, I think, as well. All right, next we have Selena as Titties from season 15. Your thoughts on her?
Selena, I was not a fan of Selena, her season. That was just where she just seemed like a mouth with legs. And while that has been slightly pared down, I can't help but notice suddenly the accent is gone, which there's been talk about that she's not leaning so much.
I never clocked it.
Yeah. That there's that piece of it where she's suddenly not talking the way that she did on her season, which that was always, I remember Irene made a joke about that, like a reading challenge on the last one, that she would come in and out of that. And now we're not doing that, though occasionally we're we're embellishing every once in a while. We're throwing it in. I'm glad she's here so that we don't have to see her at her future All-Star season. This is her chance. Oh, she's getting to do it. This'll be it.
I would have thought she would have gone the Silky route on All-Star 6, where she's pulled back so far that she's almost boring. But no, she's still screaming and yelling like a lunatic. And
But whereas before she was screaming at an 11, now it seems like she's screaming at like an 8. Which is still too high, but it's not like before where you're like, Jesus Christ, Yeah.
Next, we have Vivacious from season 6. Your thoughts here?
Anybody who thought that she wasn't going to come out with Ornacia shit on her for the fish is like, obviously that was going to happen, because that's really sort of one of the few things that she's known for. I'm glad to see her. I'm glad that we have an older queen back on, that it's not just all the youngins. Oh, by the way, Jocelyn Fox was the name of the queen that we were talking about last week that we couldn't remember. That I literally was laying in bed one night, and just as I was falling asleep, I went, Jocelyn Fox. To which Bob Lutroni went, what? And I'm like, don't worry about it.
Don't sweat
I have to remember to say that on the next episode.
Thank you.
We can speak overarchingly about her appearance this episode. She's definitely an elder. She's definitely she is a mother of sorts. I think that maybe we waited too long to get Vivacious on the show. Like, even as she was leaving the stage after she showed her first initial outfit, she turned really fast and almost for a half second sort of tripped, like her foot slipped. And I was just sort of like, oh, this isn't good. And watching her on, like, I want to watch her. I want to see her. I want to see these 3 episodes. I want to see what she can do. I'm a little like, I don't want her to be cringe, but I also don't want her to, I don't know. It wasn't her best outing. It's better than Mystique was, but not quite where I would hope that she would be in regard to this.
I think there needs to be, I don't know if you call it a season. I don't know why they don't do like mini seasons, like a 3 to 6 episode mini season that just pop out. It's just a little fun thing that they do. Would take RuPaul like a week or something like that. But one that I would like to see is like the older queens and challenges that would highlight an older queen, you know? Because I do think Vivacious has a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience, and there are challenges that could make her shine. Like, that's one thing that's never been denied, is that she is a fierce drag queen. She knows what she's talking about. She's been through it all. She's seen it all that. And I love seeing her on the television, but especially like in this challenge, it was like seeing Lucy on the Lucy show try and dance like a hippie or something like that, where it's just like, seems like, okay, you don't need to do that, you know? And like, she's trying to show off that she's still spry, and you're like, oh my God. Like, remember that last sitcom came in and she came in this jumpsuit dancing to like Physical, or I don't know what it was. And That was like Life with Lucy.
You and I are the only two people that remember that.
I think it was Life with Lucy.
Life with Lucy.
The opening scene is her coming in. She's like dancing. I think it's to Physical. It's like some sort of like 80s song.
It was where she's in like a pink like jumpsuit.
Yes.
Yeah, like a running suit. I think the thing that you're thinking of, though, is something completely different, which is when Madeline Kahn had a sitcom, and she did that to Maniac, where she was on a mini trampoline and was bouncing to Maniac.
Yeah. I think all the older ladies, they kind of go through that. And yeah. All right. Next, we have April Carrion. Your thoughts?
I would like for my head to be crushed between April Carrion's thighs.
She has gotten hotter.
She was hot on her season, and when she came out and you could see all of like the thigh muscles and everything, I was like, I just like a walnut crush my head.
Yeah.
She's one that, I mean, I think that would have been hit or miss to have her on an all-star season. I'm glad to see her for a couple of different reasons, but I don't know that we're going to see a lot of what we want to see from April this bracket.
Yeah, I think the 3 episodes are her reward.
Yes.
She's not really bringing anything to the table. And you know what, I'm going to say something, not to detract from her drag. I do think, and I think I was saying the same thing about whatever the one's name was last week, Loco Moco, or who was the one that came out with the donut in the thing, in the space donut?
Oh, Lucky Stars.
Lucky Stars. The where it's like, I can tell they're fierce drag queens. I just don't think the competition is for them.
Right.
And April Carrion, the only reason the competition is for her is because out of fucking drag, she's probably the hottest boy out of drag that's ever been on this show. And I'm including Pearl, who, by the way, has also gotten hotter. Have you seen Pearl?
I've seen Pearl. Pearl doesn't look like Pearl anymore. But you also figure that was 10 years ago. Yeah. I never got the Pearl thing. That just was not anybody that I was necessarily really attracted to.
I think Pearl's hotter now than she was when on the show. Okay. But look, I just said April Carrion's way hotter than Pearl. But I know a lot of people point to Pearl as the hottest.
Yeah. No, but April's...
Why Adam Lambert didn't take that chicken leg, I don't know. Maybe he did.
Maybe
he did. Aura Mayari, season 15. Your thoughts here?
I appreciate that Aura recognizes that she was what she referred to as the cringe queen of her season, with the flexing and all that kind of stuff. I thought that she presented pretty well this episode. There was a refinement to her. There was a recognition of previous mistakes. I did not like the opening outfit. It was way too bulky, it was like, it kept like blocking her face when she would turn around and stuff. So in that regard, I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of that. I didn't realize she was on as many episodes as she was. I didn't realize that she stuck around because they showed enough clips of her from different things that I was like, how long did she last?
Was that the season where like they didn't eliminate anyone for like 4 episodes or something?
Maybe. That was Sasha Colby season.
Yeah, which is 15.
Yeah. So that makes sense. But, and she was very big on, I remember, because she won the musical challenge, that, not the Rusical, but the musical, like that was her claim to fame. And that was the only thing.
Did she win the musical challenge in her season?
Yeah, because that was the one where she was the old lady, like in the old, are you being sarcastic like me last week where I said that?
She mentioned it about 1,000 times in the episode.
Right. Kind of like Mystique saying that she created Untucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least I'll give Mystique this, which is crazy, but at least Mystique's Untucked is iconic. Who's remembering who won the Golden Girls group challenge in season 15?
Right. But also cute as a boy. You don't think so?
Well, she should be. I find her so cringy. I think she continues to be the cringe queen. Now she's not flexing her arms. It's just a bump in the carpet. So she put the bump down for her arm, and now another bump popped up, and now it's about how she won the Golden Girls. And look, I'm going to say this right now. It's my notes for the end, but I'll say it now. If you don't think she's going to be a nightmare next week because she won this challenge, where now remember when Deja Sky won the snatch game because everybody else was so goddamn awful that she was the least awful. And and then RuPaul, I don't know why RuPaul said this, called her the lip sync assassin.
Right.
And she was strutting around her head, peacocking so hard. And this is going to be this Aura Mayari because she won now. She's going to be like dispensing advice now and all she's going to be a nightmare.
Well, I didn't find her to be that way this episode, but I could see where she could slip into old patterns of behavior next time.
Finally, we have Dr. Silky Nutmeg Ganache from season 11
Reverend
All-Star 6.
Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
Dr. Reverend Silky Nutmeg Ganache from season 11 All-Star 6. And what they failed to mention on purpose is Canada versus the world.
Why aren't they talking about that?
I don't know.
I find that interesting that they're removing that.
I think
from
most people forget about Canada. So I know we have most of our listeners are outside the US, I would say. And I know Canada's a big part. And I can already know SDC is probably like typing a furious, email and
then apologizing at the end of it for losing her temper.
Yeah. And it's like, sorry,
you boot it.
Yeah. A
hoser.
Anyway, Silky, your thoughts?
I am not. Okay, I can say this. I will say this.
Sure.
Silky looks the best that she's ever looked on a season, I thought. I think that the outfit with the cowgirl stuff, with the blue outfit with the red hair, I thought she looked really pretty. And I think had that been a couple of All-Stars 3, what All-Stars was she? 6? 6. All-Stars 6, or God forbid 11, that outfit would have been a big old mess. But she's definitely learned how to compact some things. The outfit that she was going to lip sync in at the end was a nightmare, but I'm sure that there was a reveal there for that. So in that regard, I'm hoping that she corrects and doesn't overcorrect, and that becomes an enjoyable part of the next 2 episodes.
I'd have to consult my AI brain. And what I mean is the memory bank that I have in ChatGPT right now for my thoughts on these episodes. But my guess is I'm starting to repeat a pattern because I think from All Stars 11 from the get-go, I found her really obnoxious.
No, we both could not stand her in All Stars in season 11. Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was charmed by her, but I found her to be this episode compelling television.
Yes. That's absolutely. She's making good television so far. And in that regard, that's why I'm not completely dismissing her. I think that because you have a couple of people in there that really don't have personalities. So she's got enough of a personality to where we're like, okay, this gives me something to look at. I might not always like it, but I'm going to look at it.
On Meet the Queens, I was, Robert's almost like Daniel. When that he stands somebody, they can do no wrong and they're perfect at everything. But I remember saying, I don't remember Crystal making great television. He fought me on that and blah, 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 right? And my memory isn't sharp enough to remember specific moments or anything like that, especially when you're saying something like they didn't make good television. But I think this episode proves Crystal, she turns a fierce look and she can do a challenge like nobody's business. But almost like Akira C. Davenport, she isn't the best workroom television, And then you have April Carrion, who's just pretty to look at. You have Selena's titties makes me want to turn the TV off. Aura Mayari, I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah.
And so like Silky to me is the one thing I'm hanging I'm interested in the show hat on. At least I
can see that. I mean, Vivacious,
Vivacious is great.
Vivacious is great. Vivacious, even though she wasn't around very long on season 6, she has some memorable, like the confessional, Liza Minnelli lies, and she had enough things that she would say where she was in, providing that wisdom that hopefully we're going to see. And she even kind of did that a couple of times here.
Yes.
Hopefully that will be another person that as we watch her in confessionals and we watch her talk to the other queens, that comes up
I really don't know how to explain it with Vivacious because she doesn't do anything outwardly interesting, but she is very compelling television. And there's a moment, and since I don't remember when it is, I'll just talk about it now. There's a moment where I wouldn't say there's drama in the workroom, but there's some sort of hubbub happening in the workroom, and just you can see the wisdom and experience that she's been in one of these things. She's seen this in other words, Vivacious has forgotten more things than these girls will ever know in terms of drag knowledge and experience and what's gone on in this show in drag, right?
You figure,
and you can just see it.
She said in her sizzle reel that she on season 6 she had been doing it 21 years.
Yes.
So you figure she's been doing it longer than just about anybody there's been alive at that point. So she does have, I mean, the experiences. That's why I think the part later on where they're all arguing about the songs, she was like, you know, this is a song I want. I'm fine. You know, like I'm not going to get, this is so stupid. I'm not going to get into this. I just know that this is the song that I want.
Yeah. You know what's so funny now that I'm rethinking the old person show? I think what you need is 4 or 5 old, you know, grizzled queens, right? But like 2, like Sugar and Spice or something like that, like 2 really stupid young ones, and then it would just be fireworks, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what would be interesting? Oh, this is good. 6 queens. 12 queens. 6 old, just been through the ringer queens, you know, Lola at the end of Copacabana. The feathered dust, you know, she's wearing the same feathers that she wore like 50 years ago or something. And then paired up with like 6 really stupid, dumb bitches, you know, and they have to do all the challenges together. Oh my God, I would live. All right.
Well, you know what?
Okay.
Somebody out there is listening because they eventually got the song you've talked about. So maybe in a couple of years, we'll see this as a season.
Someone at WoW, please do that. All right.
Yeah.
So now they're all on stage. RuPaul explains the rules. We've seen them before. She explains how everything works. We've seen it before. And then she announces the Maxi Challenge, where the queens will pair up to write, sing, and perform 3 hot queen-on-queen duets. In the workroom, the girls walk in to claim their stations and their roles in the challenge. Selena shows off her Golden Boot Award. April connects with Vivacious. Reconnects with Vivacious. Aura attempts to form a bond with Selena and Silky. April attempts to form a Latina alliance with Selena and Crystal. Oh, Crystal. I think I heard Selena, and because there wasn't there something Crystal? Saphira Crystal,
yeah.
So I think I sounded like it in my brain. And Crystal confesses she prefers to work alone. Later in the workroom, the girls convene to discuss and decide who will be paired up. Half of the girls want one song over the others and playfully tussle over the song before the final pairings are decided. And finally, in the workroom, the newly formed teams pair off to write their lyrics. Let's start with that first workroom part where they're just sort of reconnecting, de-dragging, everything. Any big thoughts there?
No, other than I quickly lost interest anytime they were all in the workroom, with the exception of trying to figure out who was going to sing what song, because it felt a lot of, oh my God, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you too. Yeah, it's been forever. And we've known each other for years and years. So do you want to start an alliance? Like it was, but then if everybody is trying to start an alliance with everybody, then it's like nobody has an alliance with anyone at all at that point.
Look, here's the thing. Couple of things. One, I think this is going to be the case with every first episode of these bracket style All-Stars. It'll be the same thing with first episode of Bracket 3 where everyone's playing nice. And then once those first points are distributed in episode 2, then that's when we're going to see like, okay, cunt, now we know where everybody's at. Right. And so, yeah, they're all going to play nice. What I will say, what I did clock, and this bracket is a good example to highlight that, is I noticed that the queens who were actually all-stars and really accomplished and more confident in themselves, they weren't doing that.
Right.
So Dr. Professor Silky Nutmeg Ganache and Crystal weren't really trying to form alliances. People approached them and they were sort of, Crystal was more cagey than Silky.
Yeah.
But they were not looking for an alliance. And I don't think they want one.
Right.
You know? But you had this Aura and Selena, man, and April. They were so, I think Vivacious too. Vivacious not as much, but Selena and Aura in particular were fucking thirsty.
Yeah,
then
I was going to say thirsty.
April too, and then Vivacious to some degree. And they don't feel as confident, and it just was really gross, if I'm being honest with you. Thank you. Now, what about when we go to the part where they're trying to pick the song?
I guess, I mean, we've seen this before in where, two people wanted the song, except apparently four of the six all wanted the same song.
Yeah.
And Selena was Selenaing. She was being loud about it, and whereas I feel like Silky kind of made this declaration, but she did it initially in a way that was not screaming it. Season 11 Silky would have immediately been like, I'm doing this and that's it. And like anytime anybody mentioned it would have been screaming and yelling about it. Whereas I feel like she was sort of back a little bit until the other two, April and Selena, said, well, why don't you and I just do it? And then you kind of saw the old Silky sort of bubble up a little bit, but not to the degree that, bitch, I was ready kind of that we've seen from her before. So it wasn't, it was sort of this like nothing burger of you wanted it to be something that it really wasn't. And like people that you thought were going to act out more didn't. And the people that you didn't think were going to act out did. It was, again, that was the most interesting of all the behind the scenes stuff. Other stuff I sort of tuned out.
Going back to the same thing is I had during the name of the song Dreaming of You is the one they wanted. During the whole Dreaming of You picking thing, I had I went everywhere with my emotions. At first I was like, this fucking bitch Silky just going, because she did kind of do like, all right, I'm doing this, you two fight, because I think Crystal wanted it at first, but then Crystal backed out very early on and just joined up with Aura Mayari. So she's out.
Right.
And Silky's like, all right, well, I got it. You two fight. And at first they were like listening to her. And I was writing in my notes, why the fuck are they listening to Silky? Right.
Yeah.
And then when Selena and April teamed up, I was like, yes, bitch, fucking show her. But then Silky did. She put that Uno reverse card down and made fucking amazing television by reclaiming her power and her time and being like, I can do whatever. You can give me whatever and I'm going to make it work and I'm going to win and I'm going to do it. I'm like, this fucking bitch knows what she's doing, man.
Yeah.
She knows how to play this game and make great television and do all that and give them. Morgan was kind of following this too, how to make great television. But Morgan was more engineering the television with other people. Silky was making it for herself.
And I think that it was, we call that a reframe in therapy where, you reframe this. Yeah, you're not getting the song you initially want, but ultimately I can show even more talent and more experience and look even better by doing something that I didn't initially want to do and that nobody expected from me, because she was talking about the lisp with the rap and all of that. So in that regard, I everything you're saying, I agree with. Yeah.
Wait, help me with something. You said reframe, and the way you said it made me think of the song Freeze Frame, but then I couldn't remember how it goes. I remember freeze frame, reframe.
Freeze frame.
Oh yeah. Okay, thank you.
I don't remember any of the words of that other than freeze frame. Again, a song no one remembers but you and I.
This is whenever you and I teamed
it.
Jay Giles Band?
Yeah, the Jay Giles Band. Excellent.
Yes.
Remember that for trivia.
Yeah. By the way, Voltaren is your choice for cream to ease your sore muscles.
If you remember the song The Jay Giles Band, it's time for your colonoscopy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then they go into the workroom, they tussle over the song, then they write the lyrics. Any big thoughts here, Nathan?
Well, my first thought is that my name's not Nathan.
Oh, you're not in Australia? And you're not fucking a Brazilian guy? Yeah.
No, I'm not. I wish I was banging a Brazilian guy. An Argentinian. I thought he was Argentinian.
No, his name's Argentino, but he's Brazilian.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. No, I can't. I think that there seemed to be a little bit of synergy between a couple of them as far as when they were coming up with lyrics back and forth with each other, which was enjoyable to watch.
By the way, if you know the Jay Giles band, you might call your co-host Nathan. Yeah. The synergy.
Yeah, no, I thought that in that regard, everybody seemed to have at least one moment of you could do this, or you could talk about that. And there didn't seem to be, other than between Selena and April, where Selena realized, like, oh shit, April doesn't sing. Like, what did I get myself signed up for? But the one thing where Vivacious and Silky, I forget exactly what the detail was, but she was like, you could totally add that in your lyrics. And it was like, oh yes, that's an awesome idea.
Oh, about the blocking on Instagram.
Yeah. About blocking on Instagram, I thought was a good idea for something.
Yeah, I thought they did work really, really well with each other. They all pretty much seemed, even if the product wasn't very good, they all seemed to vibe pretty well. Again, they're all playing nice this episode. I'm very curious to see what happens on the next episode. All right, main stage recording session. On the main stage, Michelle Visage produces the girls on their vocal tracks. Selena excels while April struggles. Aura impresses and Crystal amuses. Meanwhile, Silky surprises with her rap skills. It's runway day and the girls get ready for the main stage. The girls predict how the performances will go over with the judges. The girls joke around in Tagalog. Selena feels good about her Latina alliance. Aura tries desperately to secure some points. Meanwhile, the girls all give their 2 cents on Silky's season 11 portrayal. Let's start first with that recording session with Michelle Visage. Any big thoughts there?
The big thought, I think, was the extended scene of Michelle trying to coach April with getting the pitch right and the way that she was singing. I was surprised at how long that went on for, because it almost felt like a possible unfair advantage compared to the other girls, where she was always like trying to teach her how to sing right there.
Yeah,
now, I mean, all things considered. And that also could have been, we saw the whole thing, the whole 45 seconds of it. But I was a little surprised at how long that went on for. But I thought everybody else, it sounds like it went relatively smoothly for just about everybody else.
Yeah, there really wasn't much to discuss this. You're right. April was the only one that kind of had problems. And also, too, look, Michelle's clearly trying to give the producers what they want in terms of television, to give something to work with. But, I mean, she knew and everybody knew that they were going to fucking auto-tune the fuck out of April, which is what they did.
Right. Oh, yeah. That was abundantly clear.
Yeah. Abundantly clear. Runway day. Any big thoughts?
Unfortunately, I missed some of this because my husband was talking to me about something. But I did hear where they were trashing Silky and how she acted on season 11.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so what you missed actually was, and maybe this is why, this explains a lot, why it might explain some of your opinions, so to speak, because there's a very, very uncomfortable moment where Aura and Crystal, did you see this when they're doing their makeup?
Okay. Tell me more.
Okay. They're doing their makeup and Aura starts awkwardly trying to slide in the discussion about swapping points. And Aura's like, hey, but she does it she's trying to be sly, but she's not good at it. She was like, oh, Crystal, I thought you were so amazing. And so, I mean, it's been great working with you. So I've decided that tomorrow when we give points, I'm going to give you my point.
Oh, I did see this. And Crystal just kind of looked at her and went, well, thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
And didn't say, I did see that.
And I was like, oh, this is so cringy. Aura. And then she goes right over to Selena and then they swap points.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, God. And it's because Selena's just like this aura. They're trying to collect. When has that worked for anybody? Is there anybody that they literally bargained and traded and stuff for points and they got it and they went on to the semifinals?
I mean, other than last year, Mistress and Georges doing that, where they looked
them.
Well, no, I know, but looking at each other and saying, we'll give each other our points kind of thing. Whereas instead of, no, I mean, it is, I was kind of half paying attention, but Babalu was talking with me about
You
something.
did. It was mostly just point politicking. It wasn't anything super interesting.
Which, I mean, at some point, I did find it interesting that at one point, though, I did hear they were talking about, well, would you give a point to a winner, somebody that already won, that won that challenge, which considering that happened last week with Akira. I don't know that these conversations make for good TV. I don't think that we've seen anything that in the negotiation, like obviously when they're all sitting on the couch after the performance and they're all doing that, that's one thing. But this whole trying to vie for points and try to negotiate and all of that, it's sort of, it comes off very, as you said, very cringe, and it comes off very desperate, which if you're doing what you need to be doing, you don't need to be asking people for points. Case in point, Akira at the beginning of last week's episode, where she was helping everybody. So she didn't walk around going, well, if anybody wants to give me points, that would be great. People just went up to her and said, you deserve this because you helped everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we're going to give you those points. So rather than spend time negotiating, do what you need to do to be the actual MVQ.
Yeah.
And let the points fall where they may. Because I feel like we're seeing the same thing over and over again. But I don't think these queens have learned yet that that's not, other than to get more television time, they're not getting anything out of it, because it's only been the one other season in which they've seen, and even then, considering when you talked about they filmed this, they might have only seen a couple of episodes of it, so they don't know long term how this looks to be negotiating for points.
Yeah, 100%. Let's move on to now the main challenge, which they called the first annual Shablammy Awards, but it was the girl group, girl duo challenge. First up was Silky and Vivacious. Let me see what their song was. I should have written that down.
HBF.
HBF, Hot Best Friend. Your thoughts here?
I think that Vivacious definitely came out like someone's grandma. Like, she just did not have the ability to do the dances. And something that I would never expect to say for somebody about her makeup was sloppy. Nothing was like blended on the sides. It just sort of looked like she took a brush and, kind of ran it over her face. But you can see where normally it sort of is that where it's blended in to kind of give that illusion of a shininess in the front. It didn't look right to me. The critique that Michelle gave Silky about the hair in her face in the fan was reaching. Yeah. It was so like, okay, she can't control exactly where the fan is going to hit her hair and where her hair is going to go. Like, you're looking for a reason to not give Silky her flowers at that point.
I really think if Vivacious could have pulled it off, they would have won. Silky gave a great performance, but Vivacious looked fucking scared, frightened.
Yeah.
Like, is there someone with a gun? Because there was a spot where she kept looking at this one spot. I'm almost wondering if there were maybe cue cards. Like, they were like, this bitch can't remember anything.
Yeah.
And so they had cue cards because she kept looking at this one spot off. It was weird. And it looked like I said, the gun, like if someone with a gun and she's looking at them to see if she's going to shoot them. It was really weird. She looked very, very frightened. And I think that kind of brought it down. Next, we had Selena and April with Dreaming of Me. What were your thoughts there? Dreaming of You, though, I think it was.
Dreaming of You. No, yeah. Dreaming of Me. Dreaming of You is a Selena song.
Oh, okay.
Dreaming of Me, which I thought the chorus of that, while he's sleeping with you, he's dreaming of me, I think is actually a really clever, like a clever chorus for a song. Mm-hmm. It wasn't great. I mean, the dancing was good in it. They talked about, Renee Rapp mentioned, April's lines were really good. Mm-hmm. But at one point in the middle of it, it's supposed to be this empowerment song, but then Selena like jumps on the bed and like spreads her legs. Like, it felt very like, I'm going to do something desperate to get a laugh out of RuPaul kind of thing. Whereas that wasn't the vibe of the whole thing. So that took away from it. It's just, of the three, it was my least favorite. But again, April looked hot. So that was sort of my focus.
Everyone's like, why would April want this? It's all sinking and she can't sing. Yeah, because the one where you can look in a slinky lingerie and look hot. Mm-hmm. And so, by the way, I was super into the Latino dancer, whoever that was. Thank you. And then finally, and my thoughts, it was like serviceable. It was fine.
All
they
three were
auto-tuned the fuck out of
serviceable.
April.
Yeah,
They were.
There wasn't
They were.
anybody that was a total shit the bed one, but
I agree with everything you said. Like I said, the auto tune was obvious. It was serviceable, and I didn't think it was a disaster, which I think is a win for them in my book. And then finally, we had Crystal Methyd and Aura Mayari with "Hoes Before Bros." Your thoughts here?
I thought of the three, it was my favorite one. I think both of them coming out, kind of stomping onto the runway was a good first. It got your attention right away. The fact that at one point they were moving the scaffolding at one point, and they even commented on it as far as the core work. Crystal wasn't holding on to anything while they were moving the scaffolding. Yeah. So, I mean, in that regard, you're like, oh, okay. So what she did much better than I expected her to do throughout all of that. And I thought Aura did a good job. I mean, of the six of them, you could see an argument for if they split up the groups of being Silky versus Crystal. But in this regard, the two of them as a team worked really well together. And I think that might have been something that Silky didn't necessarily have. She didn't have somebody on her team that they really worked really well together on.
Yeah.
Not for 100%. Lack of trying, though.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was as strong as the judges thought it was, but I thought it was good, and I think they did a good job. And there you go. I might have been distracted by that hot Latino dancer. All right, let's about the runway. Any big comments on the runway? Any big things you liked? Didn't like?
Well, as I mentioned, I loved Crystal's look, and I thought Selena's dress looked really good. The makeup was a little harsh. When you've got something that's a butter yellow, I would think you want to kind of soften up the makeup a little bit. Yeah. But in that, I thought that the dress itself was really, really pretty. Vivacious. This is an example of the outfit, the dress, incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Agree.
She couldn't walk in it. Like the legs,
big chunky shoes. You see that?
She had the big chunky shoes, but then she also had where it was almost like, I don't think it was flat on the bottom, but it was one of these where she was almost like kicking it in front of her while she was walking, which does not make for a glamorous look when you're in this incredible like butterfly outfit.
I think they were giant pant legs, if I'm not mistaken.
They were.
I could be wrong. Yeah.
They were, but she was like kicking the pant legs in front of her instead of where, there wasn't a flow to the walk. So she looked like someone who had never been, it was almost like it was the first time she was trying it on kind of outfit. And then, I mean, God bless Silky, but that having to hold up the butter thing that was just slowly deflating 100%. Over time, it was very, and you again, point of reference. Do you ever see the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor? Oh. Do you remember the scene with Wonder Wheel where Wonder Wheel totally deflated and he was in it?
I forgot this story. Yes. He's in, they have this toy at the store and he's supposed to be in it, and it's this giant, it was like a balloon, but it was like a wheel, and you hung on and the wheel turned. Yeah. And it deflates. It's a funny scene. I forgot that I gotta remember. Oh, that's what it was. My parents kept calling it Toy Story, but they were talking about the toy, and they're like, I remember there was that girl with the big boobies, and she kept saying you, and she kept saying you ass, and then the boy was named Master Bates, and I was like, Toy Story doesn't have any of this. And I realized they were talking about the toy. This happened a couple of weeks ago, but I was in the car with them. I couldn't write it down. I was driving. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
That's so funny that I brought that up.
Yes. No one has thought about the toy except my parents calling it Toy Story.
Right.
The toy.
The toy.
By the way, guys.
A movie that could never be made.
That's why, guys. The reason you've never heard about this movie is I think Hollywood wants to forget, because the movie's actually pretty good.
It is a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's Jackie Gleason is the father. By the way, Jackie Gleason's like in his 70s at this point, right? Right. But he's the father of this little boy, and his name is Jackie Gleason's name is U.S. Bates. And he has this hot bimbo for a wife, not the mom. And he has a painting of the mom but when he puts a remote control, the parts of her clothes go down and she's naked. Remember that?
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, and Ned Beatty plays his assistant. And I always remember this scene too where like, so anyway, the premise of the movie is the little boy is home for the summer from prep school or something like that. And by the way, they call him
Military
Master.
school.
His last name is military school. His last name is Bates. I don't remember what the boy's name is. And the butler calls him Master Bates. And it has such a stellar, like, the butler is like an acclaimed Shakespearean, I think it's like, what's his fucking name? I'll remember his name in a second, but an acclaimed Shakespearean actor, Jackie Gleason. You have Ned Beatty as the assistant. And remember there's that German woman that just wants to fuck Richard Pryor. So anyway.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
Richard Pryor is working at this department store or something. I don't remember what it is. He needs a job. And Jackie, the little boy, just tortures him and makes him laugh. So Jackie Gleason buys him like a slave or something like that to be this kid's torture toy that he tortures. But then, of course, the kid, you know, grows and learns to love black people.
Yeah. Because they say you could buy anything in the store, and he says, "I want the black man. I want to buy the black man."
Oh my God, I forgot that part. He wants, I want to buy the black man. And I remember there's a scene that always sticks with me as a little kid, and even now, and I think about it now, especially more than ever. Because that's what's funny, guys. It actually, if it wasn't for the buying the black man part, which is the whole premise of the movie, it really does speak to what's going on now. It's about how shitty the job situation is in the early 80s and whatnot. I remember there's a part where Ned Beatty's been licking Jackie Gleason's ass the whole time, and Jackie Gleason humiliates him. I can't remember how, but I remember there's a scene with Richard Pryor with Ned Beatty, and Ned Beatty's been just totally emasculated and humiliated by Jackie Gleason. And Richard Pryor goes, "Is it that bad out there?" And he goes, "Yes." Yeah. And it's like, oh shit. Yeah. So anyway, the toy. I don't know how we got on that. All right. Anybody
because of Silky's butter hat that just slowly deflating like the Wonder Wheel.
Right. The toy, man. What a fucking, I need to rewatch that movie, but it is very problematic.
82. And the little boy eventually did porn.
Oh, he did?
There's an True Hollywood story about it. Well, he was the one that licked the pole in A Christmas Story.
Yeah, he did. And he licked the pole later.
So
I didn't treat straight porn.
Yeah,
he's the one I think. Go ahead, sorry.
Scott Schwartz is his name. And he couldn't get a job anywhere. So he eventually got where he was working behind the scenes in porn. Like he did that. And then eventually they convinced him that he could make all sorts of money if he did porn. And he did 1 or 2 porns. And then that completely ruined him from, anything.
Now that you say A Christmas Story, I remember that kid, like now he's a 50-something-year-old man. And he goes to these autograph conventions and he's a total ass to people. People film it and put it on TikTok and stuff like that. What a fucking total tool he is.
Not the main kid from Toy Story or A Christmas Story. No,
I know.
The one I'm talking about, Master Bates.
Nice. Yeah. Master Bates. Yeah. He's a total ass. You can see TikToks of it. All right. Any other looks you want to talk about?
No, I think talking about the toy for 10 minutes, that kind of summed up.
Yeah, I think it is. Crystal, what we said, Crystal Methyd was amazing.
How she got her skin complexion to completely match that butter is amazing to me, and not look like Marge Simpson. That's the other part of it. But I thought that the jacket with the clear kind of raincoat jacket that looks like a butter wrapper, it just everything about it. It was so polished and so beautiful while being high camp drag was so far best look of the season so far to me.
Yeah, best look, but also shows you, and even Silky's, even though it didn't work because what it was reaching for, what it was trying to be, you're like, oh, these are why people are all stars.
Yeah,
and the other one, well, Vivacious's look I thought was really strong too.
Yeah.
All right, on the main stage, Crystal Methyd and Aura Mayari were named the top 2 all-stars of the week, forcing them to face off in a lip-sync battle for the extra point. The song, No More Tears by Barbra Streisand and Donna Summers. In the end, Crystal was named the winner of the lip-sync and earned herself an extra point and an important advantage in the competition. Let's stop right here. First, Taylor, were the right 2 queens in the top?
If we're doing it as a team challenge, yes. As I said before, I think you can see an argument for Silky being one of the top 2, but yes, I was I was content with that being those being the top two.
I agree that, but I think overall that was the best team. And did the right queen win the lip sync?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
no,
interesting. No. Hot take. Go on.
I think that is a song that demands lip syncing like Aura was giving, of where it is passionate, you're rolling around on the ground, you're throwing your hands in the air, you are giving face, you are doing all of that sort of stuff. And it feels like the first half of the lip sync, Crystal was fumbling with her third leg and her extra hand and she was trying to play up comedy towards the end of it, which didn't go. This is an empowerment song. This is a song that you feel this from the bottom of your chest and you belt to this song. And I think Aura was doing that, whereas Crystal wasn't. Crystal looked like she was on Fraggle Rock, for one thing, with the yellow face and the big crazy hair. But I think that it just was not the right. That was a production win. That was not a talent win, as far as I'm concerned.
That's very interesting. So I would agree with you and disagree with you in a big jumble mess. I disagree. I think Crystal won the lip sync in my head.
Why?
Right? She won the lip sync.
Why do you think that?
Look, okay. Well, let me go we'll go backwards. I'll come back to this. Because what my point was, and this agrees with your bigger point, is this song, it's almost the way they used I Will Survive for Dax ! And the other one, right? Mm-hmm. In that, Layla McQueen. Why do I remember that? I don't remember, Lucky Stars' name from last week. But
right.
In that, these songs were wasted on this.
Yes.
That
thought went through my head too.
I know why they did it. It's because this is a perfect example of an iconic duet between two women. And didn't Barbara, they didn't record it together, right?
No.
I don't think they're just, in fact, I think Larry Flick gave me the history of this song. I think Donna Summers had already recorded the track. But anyway, it's a whole other story. Story for another day. But if you're a gay, last week on the Rumor Mill, this came up about, learning gay culture from me. If you're a young gay or an old gay, any gay who doesn't know this song is such an iconic gay anthem song, to the point where I would even say they should have done like and this is ridiculous for the show, the full 5-minute or 8-minute version of this song. Because
there's like builds, a 12-minute version of this song.
Oh, that 12-minute is my favorite, but the 12-minute does have like a cuckoo 2 minutes in the middle of it. Right. But yes. You know what? I would love to see him do the 12-minute because there is a cuckoo part in the middle. But right. But I'll take I want to see the full. I don't want to hear it. It sounded. I didn't like the way it sounded cut. Anything. This song is such an important part of. But first of all, Donna Summers and Barbara Streisand doing a duet together.
Right. The two of them were like the top two artists of the late 70s.
Yes.
And to have the two of them do a song like this was...
Yes.
I can't even think of two people now that if they did a song like this, it would have been the same level of like crazy.
I said in the 12-minute version that there's a cuckoo 2 minutes in the middle. There is. Like around the 8-minute mark, there's a cuckoo 2 minutes or so. But for some reason, the 12-minute like final minute or two is fan-fucking-tastic. Better than any of the other versions. You want to just jump up and just fucking punch any man you see in the street. But it is so good. This song, that's why Taylor essentially did to me what Michelle did to Rue when he says, "Are you ready?" before the "I Will Survive." He went, the song, I got a text, it was at my niece's graduation, and I'd already watched it, and he was, the song, and I just wrote, "I know," right? And because I have been waiting for this fucking song to be on this fucking show forever. For at least, when did we do the, remember 10 years ago with Evan Ayers?
Yeah.
We did this was on my list. And so I've been waiting for it forever. And so the fact that I wanted it to be though with Alyssa and Tatiana, I wanted it to be Shut Up and Drive level. And it was fucking Aura and Crystal. What?
It's a song that deserves a live audience, a final two of, if not an all-star season, an amazing season.
Yes.
And that it happened here was a little like, oh. I mean, I was super excited for it, like I said, but everything you are saying, 100% I agree with.
Yes. So ultimately, when it was with these two, I was like, well, fuck it. It's stupid, right? And so I'm like, well, at least Crystal made it into a joke because Aura's not going to, what's Aura going to do, right? Mm-hmm. So that's for that reason. I'm like, I don't know. She kind of made me laugh with the stupid kicking and stuff with the fake leg. And so whatever. Because like, to me, the song was, when it was these two, the song was already a disappointment to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there any songs left from the list that you came up with that haven't been used yet?
I gotta go find that list. I have it in a folder. I'm going to go find that list because a lot of them have made it on already. The Janelle Monáe song's on there. I think No Scrubs is on there. I think a lot of them have made it. Anything else, Taylor? Any final notes you want to give?
No, I think we talked this out, and we talked about a movie from 40-something years ago, so
that it makes it a
complete Drag Race recap. I'm back, people.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Drag Race Recap. Be sure to join us next time as we continue. I want to stop and say, I don't know if the toy is good. I haven't watched it since I was like 11 years old. I might need to rewatch it.
It turns into like a Ku Klux Klan thing at the end where he finds out that like...
Oh, yeah, him and the little... Yeah, because Jackie Gleason's in the Klan or something, right?
Yeah.
Or he's like kissing up to them or he wants...
Something like that.
There's something like that. So they drive a golf cart. Him and the boy drive a golf cart through the thing.
Right. Because at one point, Richard Pryor says something grand wizard. Like he says that.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. I might need to rewatch that movie.
Folks, don't watch The Toy if you're thinking about it until it's been reviewed.
Like our generation's Birth of a Nation. Anyway, be sure to join us next time as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 11. So for Taylor the Latte Boy and myself,
sashay away until next week.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.